Hello, my name is Shadow Templar 591, and I am back playing Tomb Raider. Last time we left off, we just had beaten the Obelisk of Kharum, or Khatun, or however you say it. Oh, hieroglyphs. Have no idea what any of that says, and of course, cool guy. What is that? That is trouble, and make it double. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so we did that. I gotta say, you know, not the worst, excuse me. Sorry, let me take a look and see what we got. Trying to get my thoughts together. But, not the worst obelisk. Honestly, more impressive than I would expect from an obelisk. Yes. So, with that being the case, we are now here. Unfortunately, I was hoping I was going to get this, at least this one done, before the remakes came out of the Tomb Raider series, but those come out in, yeah, they come out in February, so in a couple of weeks actually. I think it's the begin. Yeah, unfortunately, had I not missed that obvious thing in whatchamacallit, I can't even think of the level. You would think I would have it skewed into my memory for how long it took me to beat it, but yeah, had I, oh, medpack, I'll take that. Now granted, I still, because I'm going to, ooh, okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, let me save. So, yeah, I guess in the long run, I guess it didn't, it's not going to, because I was still, and I'm still, oh, not, yeah, see, that's not what, well, good to know one of those things are down there. Oh, does he, no, that's just a mummy with a gun. That's great to know that that's down there waiting for me. So you say this is a sanctuary, but for who? Cause it ain't for me. Well, I guess it's in the name. Well, I'm dead again, so. Oh, he didn't shoot at me. Oh, that's cause he's just not paying attention. He didn't care. He's like, everyone gets one. Spider-Man rules, which I guess I can respect to a certain degree. Oh, I can actually see him. Whatever. I can see the mummy. It is time to kill the mummy, or unalive it. I don't know what the technical term would be. Because our mummy's actually alive. I don't know, our virus is alive. I just don't know. Okay, so maybe you're supposed to try to get up there from the other way. That's probably just like a noob trap. What I'm trying to do. Okay. I know you're down there. Whatever. Let's head down here against my... Oh, more ammo. Nice. I was gonna say, I hear something. Oh. Okay. Somehow survived that. Okay. Honestly, I survived that better than I always thought I was going to. And by that, what I mean by that is I thought I was going to die. Yeah. So it looks like we got some kind of... Oh, this is Sphinx? Oh, it is. Okay. So just taking a look-see around again, dude. Oh, was I supposed to just... Oh. I guess I probably could have slowed down, but my... Oh, really? Is it because it's on an angle? No? Okay. That was weak. Yeah, and then... Okay. That was probably what I was supposed to do. Or you can just slide down. But you probably... You know, like I found out, you gotta kind of watch where you slide down, because if you slide down at the wrong spot, you die. Never fun. But like, okay, so... Yeah, that's gotta be it. So I gotta get over this way. Let's see. Over that way. Okay, right there. Yeah, if you wanna make a really short work of any kind of like maze puzzle, just go the opposite way in the maze. You make really quick work of a maze puzzle. At least most maze puzzles. Now, I would imagine some of the, and I guess I don't. Why is it zooming out like that? That's weird. I wonder if there's going to be like an epic fight or cutscene there, maybe. As you're setting up for that. That was weird. But yeah, back to my point. Just go from the exit to the entrance, and you'll make quick work of a lot of maze puzzles. But I would also imagine at this point that people have gotten wise to that trick, for lack of a better terminology, and there are probably like, I don't know how to put this, but like people who like make oh, too close. Okay. People who make those puzzles, like, once again, probably not like, you know, puzzles for kids. Those puzzles are probably still, you know, you still follow that trick, but I would imagine like a lot of things is kind of the same thing for adults, and those are probably a little harder. Yeah, ammo. See, I don't know if I like all this ammo. I mean, let me rephrase that. I like it in the sense I like to have it, but it also seems like I'm being set up for not great things to come, which, you know, not a fan of. Oh, it was the, it had to do with Midas. Sorry, fishbowl brain again. That I was stuck in for whatever, the Palace of Midas or something like that. I remember. Oh, there's a gap. Of course it was. Yeah, I deserve that. Yeah, I forgot about that place. Yeah, so that was, I spent probably, honestly, at least 2 or 3 extra episodes. So, you know, and maybe this is me projecting a little. I probably by this point, had I got the, you know, a lot sooner, got out of there a lot sooner, I probably would be in the expansion and close to at this point. But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to do it. Just because I'm not gonna, like I say, I kind of wanted to get this done before the remakes came out. But it is what it is. And plus, at this point, I don't even, don't get me wrong. I hope they're good, but, unfortunately, that doesn't, you really just have to wait and see, as they say. Because a lot of times a lot of the remakes aren't great. And honestly, that's gonna be more for the greater Tomb Raider community to determine. As much as I wouldn't say I'm how can I put this? I wouldn't say I'm part of the community just for playing this game. As much as I would like to be, outside of this game and the various other codes and stuff I know, like the explosion code, and just general lore is present. I guess what I'm trying to say is, outside of like playing this game, I really did not. Oh, this is a door. I came up all the way over here for nothing. I thought that had a lever on it. Well, crud. I don't really know a lot about lore. I know she had a game. I know obviously they've rebooted the series. But outside of that, I just have not played many of these games. Like I say, until now, this was my first one I've played. I don't get me wrong, I am enjoying myself. I can kind of see where, and I'll have to eventually play more of these. But I can kind of see I can definitely see the foundations of what would later become the Uncharted series. And I know that seems a little random, especially since it's from a whole different company, even though it's on the same platform. But well, you can't even really say that, since a lot of Sony, okay. A lot of Sony titles are on PC now, so it's weird. It's a weird time we live in. I don't know, maybe this is just a console war fanboy in me, but the fact that a lot of these companies don't have console exclusive, it just comes down to it just becomes, why would I buy? What is my incentive now for buying your console? Obviously it's not for your games, because I can buy them on PC. I guess you could make the argument, and I wouldn't even agree with it, honestly, that right now the the PlayStation and the Xbox are cheaper PCs, because honestly, modding a PC, upgrading a PC has just gotten so much easier nowadays. Really. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to do a jump on that one. So I don't even know if I agree with that sentiment, or that mentality anymore. It's like I say, it's a weird age, especially for someone who grew up in the Nintendo era of gaming. It's just really weird for me. Yeah. It is what it is. And don't get me wrong, I understand why Sony does it, because in their mind, it's like, well, there are going to be people who are not going to buy a PlayStation because they have they have their own like high-end PC, or they have their own PC that can run these games. So instead of just like waiting for these guys to pirate them, because that's what's gonna happen, or like fans doing their own unofficial conversions and all that stuff, let's just offer it to them. And I get from a, it's real, I don't know, it's weird. I get that, I understand it, I kind of respect it, but not really, honestly. But for Microsoft, it makes even less sense, even as weird as that is, because by doing that, you're kind of cannibalizing those sales. At least it's like on a different platform completely from Sony. So you at least, like I say, for Sony, you can be like, well, you know, we're trying to capture people who may not buy a PlayStation, who, you know, might want to just have a high-end PC and not buy a PlayStation, you know, 5 or 4 or whatever at this point. And then that's only over here. That's not to say for what's going on in the you know, Japanese market, which is, you know, for the Japanese market, handheld has really taken off. And I know handheld has taken off here in, you know, Western nations, but especially in Asian nations, and Japan, you know, obviously is included in that. It has taken off there as well. Even more, like, I forget where I saw it, but I want to say somewhere, I saw some kind of statistic that, like, the number of, like, Japanese people who like own like a gaming console, a dedicated gaming console, is very slim. There are not a lot of people. It's not like it used to be. Yeah, it's just it's a weird time, which is one of the reasons I think Nintendo kind of pivoted to the Switch, you know. And to be fair, the Switch is kind of like an iteration of the Wii U. It's that idea, but actually like fully thought through, and actually and what I mean by that, it's given a gimmick that actually like makes sense. Like the gimmick that is there, it makes sense. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Look at this. I thought I was just gonna get hit by a bat, but is this like a pterodactyl mummy? Like, what? What is going on? Oh my god. Whatever. I'm just gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Can I? Probably. Oh. Yeah. So going back to my previous thought process, yeah, so the Switch is just like, it's just a better realized Wii U. So it makes sense of why it sold so well. It really, you know, and that was also before like the Steam Deck came out. And let's be honest too, like the Steam Deck came out because Valve saw basically the same market that Nintendo saw, that Nintendo captured, and was like, wait, why don't we just do what they're doing, but for PC people? So now you know, it's not going to be as strong. It's and to be fair, they do, you know, you can. Oh wow, really? That kills you? So then how am I supposed to get down? Hell. Just close them in there. I might have. Hilariously enough. I probably messed up his AI. He's probably like, yo, what's up with this door, yo? Who keeps messing with this Switch? Stop it. So I'll probably go down there and he'll just be chilling out there. Or he might be just kind of like not moving because he's like, oh crap. I'm assuming that thing that's either that's a visual glyph that's to my left or... Oh. Should have done the running jump. Is either a visual glitch, or kind of like with the bat the one time, I basically I went around a trigger, then for some reason the game developers weren't expecting me to, so here we are. Oh, no. Oh, I'm dead again. You know, I did the first time pretty well, and then and now it's just like, nope. So, I don't know. But it's interesting. We'll have to see what's going on. I know this is gonna date the video real bad. Well, I mean, I just talked about the PlayStation 5 and 4, so that dates it already. But you know, Switch 2. Let's see what happens with that. I know a lot of people are not a lot of people. I know the rumors. The rumor mill is that it is going to have the same graphic fidelity of a PlayStation 4, and honestly, that's pretty good graphics. It's been a long time. I'm not gonna lie. When I initially heard that, I scoffed at that. But I was reminded of how the PlayStation 4 graphics look, and I was like, "Oh, those are pretty good." That's the word on the street. Yeah, so there's a lot of how can I put this? There's a lot of caveats with that, because unfortunately, a lot of times when that kind of stuff is done, it is done. So a lot of times those are dead. Those are okay. Well, I at least survived this time. Those are dev kit graphics and specs, and the reason that's important is a lot of these dev kits are actually done on PCs, or they're not done with the retail hardware. So like the dev kits will actually have components that are higher grade than the actual retail components will be. I know that happened with, I want to say the PlayStation 2. It was either the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, and I don't even remember the game of the developer, but one developer was like, we thought these specs were going to be a lot better, and it turned out not to be the case. And to be fair, that's not just a Sony PlayStation thing. That has happened with the GameCube. You know, I want to say the Xbox. Those are the ones that come to mind. That I want to say that was like the 6th generation. That line of consoles, the first like, well, no, I was gonna say the first 3D consoles, but that would be like the N64, the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn. Okay, can I not just pull myself out of the water? Like, is that really too high? Okay. So I have to, I'm assuming I have to jump then? Or is it where that... Okay, that's where that other thing dumps me out to. Gotcha. Is there... Pillars I have to move? It doesn't look like it. So, I don't know. We shall see. I hope, you know, honestly, I hope they I hope they pull it off. As much as I wouldn't consider myself a Nintendo I wouldn't consider myself a Nintendo, a big, oh really? It just dumps you out here? So right next to where you need to be. I wouldn't consider myself a Nintendo, like a super fan or a fanboy or anything. Like, don't get me wrong. I get Nintendo consoles. I've got a Switch. I got a GameCube, though I got a PlayStation 2 first. So like, can I? Almost. So like, I get them when I get them when I think they're worth it. I would say I'm probably more a Sony fanboy. I try not to be. You know, unfortunately, I'd be a Sega, but they got out of the console market, so you know. And honestly, they didn't have the greatest marketing ideas for a while there, either. So there's a couple things going on there. But with that being said, the most recent PlayStation console I got was a PlayStation 3. I would have got a 4. I would have got a 5, but this whole like mid-gen refresh thing, I want the best version of the console. Give me the best version of the console. And I get like the mid, for someone like, honestly, oddly enough, and maybe this is because of the chip shortage, but oddly enough, it's weird that we never got like a refresh like us PlayStation. We actually did get that. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just a wall there, like. That we never got like a Switch Pro. I don't know. It should be interesting to see if the Switch does dethrone the PlayStation 2 as far as most sold consoles. It's close. I mean, it's crazy that like 20 million units is close, but considering it's close, it is. How can I put this? It is not. There is not a non-zero chance that it could happen. From what I understand, and once again, I could be wrong. I am nowhere near an expert on this stuff. Nope, I want to jump forward. Laura, can you jump forward? Nope. Okay. Is it because we're up against a wall? That what's going on? Because from what I understand, for something like that to happen, Nintendo would have to do a price cut, and they generally do not do them unless they're hurting. Like they did it with the Wii U, but even then, that was $50. I want to say they did it with the GameCube. I think that was also $50. That may have been $100. Someone can correct me if I am wrong. It has been a while. So, they do that. I don't think, did any of the Game Boy line ever get a price cut? I don't think so. Once again, I could be wrong. Oh, that's cool. Doesn't really help me here. Like, is there another, maybe there's another door or something? I don't know. I feel like I'm beating my head against this wall. Because I think this is the only door that opened. I'll double check. the problem is, as much as like I said, I do hope that Nintendo does well, you know, for that competition. Unfortunately, they really like, it's really a Nintendo outside just doing its own thing as far as the gaming industry is concerned, and then you have Sony and Microsoft competing against each other. There's not really a lot of direct, you know, those two have direct competition, and then, you know, Nintendo does, but so like the three of them technically compete in the gaming space, but Sony and Microsoft compete more directly with each other than, say, Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft let Banjo-Kazooie in on whatchamacallit, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, you know, yeah, I mean, let me put it this way. If this was back when the Xbox One and GameCube and all that was going on, that wouldn't have happened. Absolutely not. Like, they got GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye came out, so I guess we're saying that, like, this cessation of hostilities between some of these companies is not necessarily, it's not a zero sum, like this is ultimately bad or this is ultimately good. There's trade-offs, like most things. But I don't know. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing what they're doing, but obviously, you know, they have people that they pay who say otherwise, so, you know, who am I to say, I guess? What do I know? I'm just some Joe Schmo. That's it. So, I don't know. Like I say, I hope they do good with the Switch 2. I hope they don't. The problem with Nintendo, and it's good in one sense, but it's like, I almost feel like the different, like Microsoft and Sony have a different problem than to say Nintendo. Like Microsoft and Sony have this problem where they just iterate. They don't want to innovate. They just keep building off the same, you know, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Pros, you know, all that good stuff. And Nintendo's like, nah, man, we're going to innovate. And that's great to a certain extent, but you also have to realize where it's like, no, we don't need to, you know, this thing doesn't need some gimmick to exist. It being like the next best one in this line is its reason to exist. Like, you know, maybe someone knows this, but I think to the SNES, so the NES to the SNES, what was, you know, obviously bigger color palette, you know, probably more RAM space and space on the cartridges, you know, 16 to 32-bit. So I get all that, you know, same with like, you know, the Mega Drive, the Master System, you know, the Sega Master System to the Sega Genesis. So like that in itself is the innovation, but like, there's no really gimmick behind it. It's like, hey, here's our console. Here's a better version of our console. And I guess maybe because it is 32-bit, there doesn't need to be like this big reason to innovate. But like once you get to a certain part where the graphics are so good, maybe that's where the need to innovate comes in. And I say that because after that, then you have the Virtual Boy, and granted that some of that was pushed because they were looking. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't. Okay. Some of that got pushed because they were looking for their next, you know, great. They were looking for a filler console before the N64 came out, so I also understand that. Okay. I feel like I didn't get touched, but you know, there's my corpse, so I guess. They knew. They were like, this is gonna be very annoying. Here's our med pack. And you know what? Honestly, I respect it. So, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts. Sure, just walk off the ledge. It's not the first time you've done it today. Yeah, the hitbox on that gotta be... It's... So, like, in most games, and this might be a more modern invention, like... The hitbox is gonna be on the spikes themselves, and it's not gonna be active that whole duration, like it seems to be. Yeah. So that's... Or you can just jump over it, you know. That's also an option. Okay. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So what is this gonna do? Okay, so that opens that door, but that doesn't solve my water issue, or what I perceive to be my water issue. Huh. This is risky. Yep. Didn't get it, and now I have to deal with that thing. Where is that thing? I hear you. Is it dead? Nah, it's up there. I can't hear it anymore, weirdly enough. Ah, there we go. I must have just not been close enough. Eh, cool. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I lost my train of thought. I guess I was just waxing poetic about console generations and consoles. As tends to happen. But yeah, I mean, like I say, we'll see what happens. You know, I respect Nintendo for their willingness to innovate. I respect, you know, you gotta respect Sony too, coming in here and, you know, they've never done worse than second place, which, considering the graveyard of consoles, yeah, a lot of them would take that. They have, at least right now, one of the best-selling consoles in the PlayStation and the PS2. I mean, as crazy as this is to think, the PlayStation 1 sold more units than the Wii. And, you know, for those of us who were alive during then, or can remember, you know, were old enough to remember, the Wii was a big thing. Like, so think about that. Think how crazy that is. And, you know, and this is probably why I say I'm kind of a Sony fanboy, as much as I try not to be, is, you know, also put this in context too, not as many people back then played video games as they do now, and did then when the Wii came out. So like, that, you know, that number to me is more impressive. It's like, it's kind of like when you look at like the music sales, it's like, you know, I always respect the I guess what you would call the legend, or like the people who have like top songs, like, you know, top Billboard songs, or top, you know, record songs, later, because you didn't have what you did. You didn't have streaming. You didn't have all the music platforms where it's very easy, or it's a lot easier to get, you didn't have Apple iTunes, so it wasn't as easy. You had to go to electronics store or your local record store and get that song. It just the convenience just wasn't there like it is now. And I'll you know what, I'll put a spicy hot take is, I don't think it's as well as the Switch did. I don't know, and honestly we will never know. I don't know if it does as much as the whole handler health thing did. I don't know if it does as well. If it does as well if there isn't a global pandemic. And you can say, well, because of the chip shortage, and you can make the argument, oh well, the chip shortage also affected Nintendo as well. But what I will say is, yes, it definitely, you can definitely make an argument. But the thing is, they had consoles on the shelves. Their consoles, from what I remember, and once again I could be wrong, weren't getting scalped like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One or XS or whatever that console's name is, because they have a really stupid naming convention now, Microsoft, that does. I don't know, because of that, and then all the negative publicity that had, and then you also have to remember they had no competition, so whoever's going to get a gaming console is just gonna basically, okay, that's kind of what I figured we were trying to do, but I didn't know if there was gonna be like a lever or something. Okay. Yeah. I probably gotta push it from the other side. But I don't know. I think a lot of people undersell the fact that, hey, they had no competition. And maybe I'm overselling it. I don't know. And unfortunately, we don't know. We don't live in that world. So, we'll probably never know. But that's my thing. And the only reason I bring up this, and don't get me wrong, it was a genius move. It was a reason why the PlayStation 2 sold a lot of units. But I feel like a lot of people, their argument, and it's not, like I say, it's not a invalid argument. I mean, I used the argument to get my PlayStation 2. It was one of the arguments I used, but it was the fact that, hey, it has a DVD player, and it's cheaper than if you go buy out a DVD player. Oh, that's a horse. Oh, one of these guys. Nope. Yeah, you need to stay in there. Good. But another... Oh, this must go on the top of the Sphinx. This Ankh. But another argument I used was like, hey, look, I can also, it's backwards compatible with my game. So like I wouldn't say I had a giant PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 library, but I had decent. So it's like, I think I think that also gets minimized. It's like, yeah, I think it's those two in combination. The fact that it had a PlayStation, it had a DVD player that was cheaper than most DVD players you could get on the market, and it was backwards compatible with your PlayStation games, your PlayStation 1 games, your PSX games, however you want to say it. So like, those two things combined, it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I get one? So, I don't know. That's just my musings. Come on, really? More you guys? Like, I see you down there. At least this one doesn't have a gun. Oh, no gun. As far as I'm aware of. As he pulls one out. Which I'd be kind of just wondering from where, but at the same time I probably don't want to know. So, I don't know. You know, the PlayStation 1, it had a CD player, but I don't know. And I do remember using it. I think maybe just once or twice. I didn't use it a ton. So that was more, I feel like that was more of a novelty though. I don't know. Like I say, these arguments, these discussions, are nice to have. You just don't let them take over the rest of your life. I guess is my point. Okay. Put this in. Okay. So I probably, because I think there's probably one in the front. So no. Oh yeah, there's one down there. There is. So I wonder. I doubt it. No, you know what? It's. I mean, I'll do it just for the sake. But it's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably just like when I had to put like the 4, like the Eye of Horus, the Ankh, I forget what else. It was a Scarab. When I had to put those, okay. I don't know what he was gonna try to do, but it didn't work, so. See you later. So, like I say, we'll see what happens with the Switch 2. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't Nintendo it, but you can never be sure. I mean, Sony did with the, oh my god, with the, PlayStation 3. That thing. And the crazy thing with the PlayStation 3 too. Oh, that's a really cool view. Okay, that's kind of what I figured was gonna happen, but I wanted to make sure. Let's go, because we can get back to that water area pretty quick. Let's go back there. Oh. Well, I killed myself, so never mind. Next time I'll put that Ankh back in, and we'll try the water section again. With that being said, guys, as always, my name has been Shadow Templar 591, and have a great day.